Yes, life was delayed, but it never gave the nod.
Hello, everybody. It's Annika Laquette here, and you're listening to Never Gave the Nine podcast. If you are new here, make sure that you listen to the previous week's episode and hit the subscribe button for me. I would like to give a shout out to my mother, Angela, for being the very first person to comment on my YouTube channel. So thank you, Mom, for doing that. If you would like a shout out, make sure that you be the first to comment on my YouTube channel, and you'll get a shout out for next week's video. So, y'all, I want to bring somebody in real quick. The it girl, okay? She is the realtor. She's all of that. And I have Izzy. How you doing today, boo? Let me bring her in. Hey,
Hi, I
girl.
am doing well. How are you? Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure, honestly.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I thank you for coming on the show. So I know you from school. So tell me
Mhm.
a little bit about yourself to people.
Okay, so my name is Izzy. I'm a serial business owner. I'm just addicted to making money, so I have multiple business. I'm about to graduate with my master's degree in clinical counseling, even though I'm not practicing in that field. I love to
Okay.
travel and I love the luxury lifestyle. That's really just it.
Go ahead, girl. I'm trying to get like you, okay? Because every time I go on social media, you are doing a dang on thing, and I'm so proud of you. What motivated you to become a realtor?
So I'm not gonna lie. I started off for the wrong reasons at first because I was like, okay, I see all these girls hopping out their Mercedes with their bags. I was like, I like that. And I was like, I already got a Mercedes, I already got the bags. I want to do that too. But then when I
Right.
started really studying, it was like, oh my God, like a lot of Black people don't own homes. Like it's just not a normal
Mm-hmm.
thing around here. Like a lot of people that I'm working with now are first time home buyers in their generation, in their family. So it's like
Wow.
I wanted to be able to help young people, especially because a lot of people, unfortunately, Blacks have the thing going in their mind. They ruin their credit when they're young, and then when they get to their 30s, they're
Yep.
looking to buy a home. And I just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
start educating people early on so they don't make the same mistakes over and over.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. So I know that you say you're going back to school. But what is the educational requirement in order to be a realtor?
So it really wasn't that bad for me. So you have to go to real estate school. That's the number one thing. Now,
Okay.
the time it takes to complete real estate school is completely up to you. They really have a schedule
Mm-hmm.
for anybody. Like they have one class that you can complete in a week that's 8 to 5. And then they have how I did it was I took 3 weeks of night classes from 6 to 10. And that only took
Okay.
3 weeks. And then they have it where, you have it on the weekends and it take like 3 or 4 months. And then they have self-paced. Now, I do not
Mm-hmm.
advise people who are not self starters to do the self paced because a lot of people that are planning to come up under me in real estate, they are still taking those classes months later. So I don't
Wow.
personally recommend like self-paced classes. Like if you can go in a classroom setting, definitely go to a
Mm-hmm.
classroom setting. You have to pass the test of the class. Once you pass the test
Okay.
of the class, you have to take the national and state tests. And after you pass the national and state test, you have to take your post licensing class. And then if you do it online, there is a test. And if you do it in the classroom, there's not a test.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. It's a lot of like schooling, a lot of
Yeah.
patience, what it sounds like.
You have to know how to study. You have to know how to, like I tell people, I feel like the classroom test was like more so vocabulary, and then the state and
Mhm.
national test was more so applying and finding the best answer. So yeah, it
Mm,
can definitely get tricky.
I believe it. So I saw that you're a realtor in South Carolina and in Georgia. Can you tell us like a little bit about how someone can obtain a real estate license in multiple states?
So each state is going to be different. So for me
Hmm.
to get licensed in Georgia, all I had to do was pay my fines in Georgia. Because when you become a realtor, listen, the startup cost is a lot. So
I
make sure
believe
you're
it.
saving at least
Hmm.
2,000, depending on which MLS. But when I got licensed in Georgia, I just had to apply for my licensing there. I didn't have to retest or anything. But some states do require you to take their state test. So it really just depends on what state you're looking to go to. Like if I go apply to North Carolina, I can actually become a broker, which is a step up from a realtor, and I don't have to take none of those classes or anything. So it's definitely important to see which states are aligned with yours. They have to be aligned together, and that's where you don't have to take the test. But if they're not, you will have to take the test. And in that case, you'll have to take the class and know about the test. So it can be a lot.
Right. See, that sounds like a lot. And I'm telling you, you're doing a dang on thing because you went through
Thank
all of
you.
this and now you're here.
I just felt like Georgia, South Carolina's kind of behind with the luxury market. So Georgia reflects like houses I really love. And I was like, I got to do it. Like, I got to do it. So I'm glad I did do it. Like, you really got to find what makes you happy. And any place you love traveling to, get licensed in that state. Like, that's just it.
See, that's smart. See, a lot of people don't think like that. And you love like Georgia, and I love the housing in Georgia too. Beautiful houses. So yes, I completely agree with that. Could you provide some tips for people who want to buy a home? Because I heard it's $10,000 to save. And baby, we got bills. So I need some information because I need some help too, girl.
Listen. So it all depends. So I work with a lot of first-time home buyers. So I get two spans of clients who need the financial help and clients who come in with the whole down payment, whole closing costs and everything. So I typically tell people to have at least 5,000 in savings because depending on what type of home you have, the seller of the home, I can get them to cover some of your closing costs. So I tell people to save at least 5,000. And then, we're our generation, we will quit a job in a second. They want to see that you can hold a job. They don't want to see long gaps of employment. Most of the lenders I work with, they don't want to see anything longer than 6 months. So making sure you're staying employed, not cutting back on your hours. Like, you really need to be making as much money as possible. And then credit. That is the main thing, because by the time people get to me, they do need credit repair. And I do have partners that I work with, and the prices range from $450 up to $1,000. But I tell people you get what you pay for. So, whatever one works best for you. But all of my credit repair specialists are really great. So just making sure like they're paying their bills on time, no late payments, not letting small stuff go to collections. Because the lender I work with, they don't really care about anything under $1,000 in collections. But if it's bringing your credit score down, we will have to work on that. But mainly, I just see credit being the main thing stopping people. Like, and this is tax time. I'm telling people, put money aside. Like, if you're not ready to buy right now, this is the time to be buying credit repair, getting your credit together. Closing costs and everything, I tell them just have 5,000. Most people here do qualify for some type of program to cover their down payment. So I always, when I vet my clients, that's the first thing I'm doing. Like, seeing, like, if you don't have the money for down payment, making sure you fit everything you need to get the down payment assistance. But credit is the main thing people need to watch out for.
And see, you teaching us, okay? Because I did not know any of this. I just heard from previous years that you have to save 10,000, and yeah, the credit is a big thing as well. But the 10,000, I was like, baby,
I mean, if you're covering your own down payment for like a $250,000 house or lower, like if you're covering your down payment and closing costs, then 10,000 is a good spot. But it's now like there's so many down payment assistance programs. Like, if you don't have the money to cover your down payment and you don't make over the limits, like some are 80,000. Like, then you'll be good enough to get the down payment assistance where you only have to worry about closing costs. And that's if I can't get you closing costs, because some sellers are not going to pay for your closing costs, but some will. So it just depends on the home.
Okay, that makes sense. So what are some mistakes that non-homeowners make that you wish they could do better at?
Oh my God, the freaking solar panels. Stop buying those solar panels, please. Like, if it's not your permanent home, do not buy it. Because when I bring buyers in to look at those homes, they want to know if those solar panels paid off. And those solar panels cost a whole new car. So my buyers are not about to take over solar panels for you. Yes, they're like 20 to 45,000. So my buyers are not going to pay that. So I tell people, like, stay away from the solar panels. And then if you have animals in your home, please making sure like your home doesn't get that scent. And I really think that's taking care of your home, not doing projects, too many big projects yourself, making sure you get the correct permits for that. But mainly what I've been seeing a lot of right now is solar panels on homes, and they just, please stop. If that's not your forever home, just don't get it, because you're going to have a hard time selling it. Most buyers are going to want you to pay that solar panel off before they get it, because they don't want another monthly payment on something else. They're
So
cute, but no.
right, they're cute. I was like, oh yeah, like you see the solar panel and it save a lot of energy on the home. So I was like, okay,
But
that's
my
kind of
the way I
smart.
look at it is I see
Mm-hmm.
payments anywhere from $100 to $250 a month on a solar panel. So the money you saving on energy, you putting back in the monthly payments on these solar panels.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. Just
Wow.
no. If it's not your forever home, just leave it alone.
So, what is something you wish you would have learned before starting a business and also becoming a realtor?
Oh my God. Let's see. Honestly, you have to realize that everybody is not business savvy, so they don't know how the
Mm-hmm.
processes work. And I feel like being a small business owner is hard, but being a small black business owner is even harder. Like,
Yes.
you can't really mess up because they'll
Mm-hmm.
go to McDonald's and stuff and they'll mess up 1,000 times and they'll keep going, but you mess up one time and it's
Hmm.
over. So for
Yep.
me, I wish I would have known like just how to better deal with people because I was the type, if you come at me wrong, I'm bringing it on back to you. So I had to learn
Okay.
how to ignore people and also realize I'm the
Mhm.
boss. If I don't want to deal with something, cut it off. Like I don't have to service you.
Yes.
There's 1,000 other people doing what I'm doing. Go somewhere else. So just protecting
Mm-hmm.
your peace and then realizing like when I first got into real estate and everything and started opening my businesses, I was working for the state. But now that I'm 100% just working my businesses, I am in control of my paycheck. So if I don't get up and work,
Right.
I'm not going to. So just making sure you understand, like, even though you don't have a 9 to 5 anymore, setting a schedule
Mm-hmm.
to work your business. So my schedule is 8 to 12, Monday through Friday, every other
That's
Friday. So
good.
I just make sure I'm working in my business because I do, sometimes when the money start rolling in, you get lazy and you're like, okay, I'm about to go on trips and everything. But you got to realize, like, having that in your area. And I think hiring help that believes in your business. Like everybody want a job. A lot of people want to work with me and everybody isn't a good fit. But I do delegate a lot of
No.
my tasks. I'll hire a virtual assistant in a minute. So just learning how to pass on your tasks to other people so you can do stuff that's like me responding to emails and stuff all day and all that, that's not really making me any money. Get somebody else to do that so
Right.
I can be out here showing houses, calling clients and stuff like that, stuff that's making me money. So that's my biggest thing.
And see that's the best thing to do. Like have people helping you out who actually want to see you do good, not
Right.
just trying to mooch off of you or whatever. It's best
And
to
that's
have
what I get a
people in your
lot of.
corner to help you be better than what you are. So that's really good. What advice would you give an inspiring realtor? Because there's a lot of people out here who want to make that money, but they're kind of scared.
Okay, so for me, like I said, I came into it for the wrong reason. Like I'm looking at what is it, Selling Florida, Selling Sunshine, whatever it is. Looking at all these TV
Mhm.
shows, they show all the glamorous work of everything. So you just
Yes.
have to be prepared for whatever. Like for me, my business didn't start thriving in real estate until I went full time, but I had the money to just quit my other job and go full time. A lot of people try to do it, and for some people it does work, but for some people
Right.
it don't. So just
Mhm.
understand, like if you are working another job and starting off in real estate, making sure that you treat your real estate like another job and not a side hustle. Because that's what I did. Like whenever I felt like doing real estate, that's when I did it. So just
Mhm.
making sure you have that and making sure like people don't understand like it's your job as a realtor to put yourself out there. So you
Yes.
can't not be a people person and expect people to just come to you. So definitely knowing how to be a people person, knowing how to work the room, always be ready to promote your business and also to
Mhm.
be ready for those months you aren't closing anything. Because listen, you'll have a $30,000 month and then the next month you're not closing anything. And if you're blowing your money, oh, you're gonna be short.
Mhm.
So just knowing how to
Yeah.
budget, making sure like once your business is thriving, as your business go like thrives, you should be hiring more and more help. Like you got a lot of money coming in, you need an accountant, you need to put yourself on payroll. So just
Yeah.
understanding like you really have to set yourself up because as a realtor, you do not work for anybody but yourself. You have your broker, but they're really there just to
Mm-hmm.
handle the paperwork. You're your own business, and so you have to run everything.
Okay, so since you do have all these businesses and you're a realtor, how can you just stay sane? Because you have everything going on. This call center I saw,
Mhm.
you had another thing going on. I'm like, girl, how you have all this stuff
Listen.
going on and you a mom? So it's
Mhm.
like, and you probably got a man. I don't know if you got a
Mhm.
man, but you got
Mhm.
to make sure they good too, and also make sure you're good. So I mean, give us some insight on how you stay sane.
I like I said, I delegate tasks. I will hire an
Mhm.
assistant in a minute, and they have to be able to run my business like me. If you don't run my business like me, you gotta go. So making
Yeah.
sure, like, and I hate that South Carolina is so behind with things. Like, in Georgia, like we can hire a showing agent to show homes. But here it's really
Right.
hard to like find people who will go show houses for another realtor all day long. So for me, I just delegate everything that I can. Like, if you know you're not the type of
Mhm.
person to post on social media, hire a social media manager. I don't like to sit in front of
Yes.
my computer and do emails and everything, or I don't like to do a lot of paperwork. I have a transaction coordinator. So I try to, and
Mhm.
that's for all of my businesses. No matter what I do, I have somebody else running it for me and making sure I vet it. And as far as like my personal life and everything, I did the 8 to 12 just so like whenever my daughter is with me, like I still have time for her when she gets out of school. Like I'm not about to, and then like if I do have showings, she's able to come. And but mainly like you're in charge of your schedule. So whatever I want to do, most times I'm able to, unless I have a bunch of showings or anything like that. But when I used to have my businesses and I was trying to do everything, I didn't have a work life balance. So I don't
Yeah.
like once you have the money to hire help.
Do you have any upcoming events or any programs that you want to share with us?
So I am going to do another springtime event, and it's just going to be like a women empowerment type thing. I know they have such a bad rep. It's not gonna be like a formal one. I like to have fun. When I did my vision board party, we was at the hookah lounge. Like we handle business first and then we turn up afterwards. So it is gonna be like that. And I do have people asking me about being their life coach. So I am gonna start my program in the spring also for being a life coach. I'm just the type like I like everything perfect. So once I feel like my assistant have everything down packed for my programs, then I'll be watching it. I'm very picky about stuff because I know how it is to pay for classes and stuff. And I feel like, what was this? Also, make sure people know that you can take 1,000 classes, but it's up to you to implement those things. Like the same thing classes I'm taking now, the same classes I was taking before, and I was just like there, but not really applying it to my life. So it's really up to you on how these programs work for you.
That's good. I'm happy for you. You're doing a lot of stuff for the community and for yourself and your family. So I'm very happy for you. So tell everybody where they could follow you on social media.
So my Instagram is Cadicia Izzy the Realtor. And then my Facebook is Cadicia Izzy Hankins. Now my Snapchat, we're gonna pray about that another day, but it's in my bio on Facebook. That's my unprofessional side of me. But I love to
Okay.
interact with people. Like I sell homes from Snapchat just like I do Facebook, Instagram, or anything else. So like I'm always like you're going to see both sides of my life. I'm lit and I'm handling business. So and that's
Period.
why I love real estate because I can be myself. Like I don't have to put on a
Mhm.
front. People are seeing that, okay, yeah, she like to have fun, but she definitely out here working. So yes, follow me. I would love it.
In honor of Black History Month, I ask all of you, what does Black history mean to you? I want to give a shout out to Quentin, aka Mr. South Carolina. He said, Black History Month, literally keeping everything relevant. Real Black history. Negro spirituals is what keeps us melanated. Black History Month, appreciation of our ancestors who stood tall against the racist folks. What Black history means to me is to keep color history alive and to never forget that we still have to get what's owed to us, we the people. If you want to get a shout out on next week's video, make sure to comment below what Black History Month means to you.
One more thing I want to ask you because I asked all my guests this, and it's the month of February. Let us know, what does Black History Month mean to you?
So for me now, like we have learned from our past, and people don't understand, like every day we're writing history. So for me, it's
Yes.
making sure looking back at where we came from, where we at now, and people don't understand like people like, oh, slavery over. There are people who are slaves in a different way now. So going back
Okay, now.
and reflecting, like seeing what's going on, understanding what these people went through for us to be able to have this freedom that we think we have now. But it's like also realize like, dang, like we got people that used to like stand in lines for all kind of stuff back in the day, begging for food and stuff. But yet these same people, there's
Yes.
people now that standing in line for J's and stuff, but not for jobs. So it's
Come on.
like we gotta realize like history repeats itself. It may not be in the exact same way, but making sure that you know your past and know where you're going and making sure you're aligned with what you really think you want. Like some people like their idea of being rich and everything is completely different from people don't understand luxury and stuff starts within. If you ain't right
Yes.
within, it ain't gonna work for you. So just know your past, know where you came from, know what things mean, because our people out here are lost. And we're seeing the
Yes.
same thing over and over. Blacks being killed, people getting away with it. It's happening again. So I really think this is time to honor the people that made it possible for us. And
Right.
but also now we have to take it from here. It's our job. We're writing history now. So how we're acting now, they're gonna be studying about later. So just making sure you know where you came from.
That's amazing. I want to thank you so much for coming on Never Gave Denied podcast. And I am so happy that you are flourishing and you're being a good
Thank you.
realtor and you making that money, girl. And I'm so happy. And
Thank
you also
you.
helping the people. And I'm just
Oh
so
yeah.
proud of you.
By
And I just
any
want to thank
means.
you so much.
Tune in to next week's episode as I answer some of your questions. Need advice? Send an email to nevergavedeniedpodcast@gmail.com or comment below.
And remember, yes, life was delayed, but it never gave denied. I'm your host, Annika Laquette, and you're listening to Never Gave Denied podcast. Bye.